This is our second neighborhood blitz. As you recall, the first one was over at Reagan. It's basically the same goals and objectives, and that is to go in and try to make a visual impact, an immediate visual impact. And I believe we did that in Reagan, and we hope to do that here in Rio Vista and Blackshear. Once again, we have Wal-Mart and Sams sponsoring the event, and we certainly appreciate their participation. We have over 400 employees positioned throughout the area, painting, picking up trash, cleaning alleyways.
In terms of code compliance, you know, this is grand. This is what we strive for on a daily basis, working proactively, looking for properties that are in violation. So, from a code standpoint, you know, this type of cleanup, this type of blitz, really alleviates some of our due diligence per se, and it really helps the citizen kind of start from a clean slate. In other words, you know, when we're actually looking for violations and/or we follow up with complaints, this will sure streamline that and minimize both those effects. Not to say that we're going to streamline our current processes, but it sure helps to be able to manage your properties or your districts that each officer is in charge of.
I think the reason why we're out here is because we have a lot of places where we have a significant number of code violations. It takes a lot of time from our code enforcement department. We eventually clean those locations up, and so that takes a lot of time. And what we're trying to do is really come out, provide that helping hand to areas of the community to essentially take them to a baseline so then they can start maintaining their yards and really staying in compliance with code issues. But I think when you go beyond just the obvious, what you really start looking at is that we're trying to do a couple of things. We're trying to build a sense of community and really let people know that we're more about just doing our daily task, and we really want to get out and interact with the public and provide that helping hand.
Oh, it means a lot, showing the city that they're willing to give back. It's not always about you giving them. So it shows a lot of, how do you say, good citizenship. So yeah, it means a lot to me. I never thought it would happen, so it's always good to be chosen. It gives you a good warm feeling in your heart to know that it's not always about what they're going to do.
One of the concerns was we're going to go in there and do this. 6 months later, it's going to get back to where it was at. And I am proud to say that we can look up, and we have 6 months under our belt from the last time we did something like that, and we can take true steps of measurability. You know, the first 30 days afterwards, you're kind of wondering, when is this going to come back? 60 days go by, you're kind of wondering when this is going to come back, so on and so forth. But as time goes, that's a measuring tool for us, and I can honestly say that the area has sustained. It's sustained through heightened code enforcement practices, but most of all, it's sustained because of the blitz impact that we had and gave people a fresh slate, a clean slate to stay in compliance.
Actually, we're seeing that it's really holding up, and that really comes into the reason why we're doing this. As I've said before, my wife was the one with the idea, and she talked about the fact of broken window theory, and if you can just provide people with a helping hand, they'll take it from there, because people inherently don't want to accumulate this stuff and let their property get in this state of disrepair. But what happens is sometimes it can just get so overwhelming that they don't know how to address it. And so when we provide that assistance to them, what it then does is really encourage them to keep that up. And if you look at it today, it was really interesting as we started moving through the neighborhoods. When we were about halfway to 3/4 through the neighborhoods, you started hearing lawnmowers go off and see people working in their yards, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. And it's just really, we'll take them to a baseline level. We want them to try to keep it there. We are going to take a more aggressive code enforcement stance, and that once we get it there, we will aggressively enforce codes. But we provided that assistance to get them to that baseline level.